on Monday.
Yes.
At 11:15 a.m. The only game on Monday, we have Wales against Georgia in the Toyota Stadium in Nagoya, to be refereed by Luke Pearce, which is an interesting enough dynamic. I'm not sure, I may be misremembering this, but I think Luke Pearce was in charge of Georgia, Scotland and Tbilisi.
Right.
And he really got on the backs of the Georgians. He really did. Like,
well,
he was pinning them a lot. Like, he was not sympathetic to anything that they were doing and was pinning them.
In defence of Luke Pearce, I was watching that game and I thought he was mostly right.
I thought he was quite harsh actually on a number of occasions on the Georgians. And I think that's an interesting dynamic. Like, there's just going to have to be a lot more accurate in terms of what they do in and around the tackle area.
Yeah.
But yeah, his not running away calls were like instant and super quick, and constant, and it was from the very beginning of the game.
Yeah. Tough to slow down an opposition, which is what Georgia's game plan is. If that's what the ref's preference is for quicker ruck ball, and he's going to be on you. If you're in any way dodgy at the breakdown, you're pinged. That suits Wales, obviously. So
it's I think that's definitely an intangible dynamic that's working against Georgia. But from Wales' point of view, it's been interesting to hear them. They've been talking quite a bit in their media and from their camp about the scrum
time. Obviously, it's the question with Georgia that has to go answered.
Thomas Francis up against Nariashvili, it is a tough task.
Yeah. As we said it in our show last week, any tight head in the world going to face Georgia is in for a tougher day than the rest of his teammates normally. It's the tight head prop knows he's in a serious game, a wrestling match all game, and the rest of them are trying to be accurate and make sure we win in other areas.
It's a curious question for Wales. I don't think that they should get bogged down into a tight Six Nations-y physical game. Even if they feel they have the edge, I just don't think that's where you want to play Georgia.
No.
That just
and the last time they played, these two met, they did do that, and it wasn't anywhere near as tight as in the Millennium Stadium, and they didn't get their dominant offense going, and they ended up in an arm wrestle, which they want the pace of game to be higher than that. I would err on the side of even picking Patchell and moving the team around and basically. It's
definitely a question. The only thing is that they will, if they do pick Patchell, Georgia will on the other side of the ball send Becca Gorgadze down his
or Mamuka Gorgadze. But I favour the running game against Georgia, and because we've seen Georgia are so physical when the contact happens, and if Patchell does run down a Gorgadze or a Gorgadze or any of those Godzillas or get run at by them, he's not winning that collision. But if he can stand a bit deeper and run at them and get the ball away, the Georgian line speed isn't where it should be.
No.
And they're slowing of the ball. In terms of at ruck time, they're getting their hands in, making it messy. Hasn't been where it should be either. So Wales will be looking for quick ball and moving the game.
Move them around. Do what Scotland did to them. Get tries, because that's what you're looking at. The Georgian defence isn't that elite, and you don't want to get bogged down in the scrum game. No. You don't want to get bogged down in the tight, because that's where the Georgians can get in your face.
And the Georgians love that. You're playing them into the game that way. They only love doing that. So. As much as and then Gatland does have that little chip and streak where he does like to take teams on at their own game. This is one of those circumstances where it's much easier and much more navigable to just make it about something else. And we've already and always praised this Welsh team on its versatility. Mentioned the fact that Gatland's been there for 10 years. That there's a lot of consistency and there's a lot of just depth as far as players have come in and played the system before, and they can take games to different places. We've said that about them. They're as versatile, if not the most, in world rugby. So this is a chance to show it by making it more of a spectacle. They want to get their outside backs in the game.
Territory is huge as well. Georgia have yet to display a chance to really competently exit.
Yes.
And if you can put them in their own half, that's where they get uncomfortable.
True.
Like at their best in the Rugby Europe games, Georgia barely enter their own half. They instantly get out, and then they're just in the opposition half. They just have crazy territory numbers.
Yes.
And that's one thing that Wales will be looking to undo is putting them in that awkward position that they didn't deal with in the Scottish doubleheader. From Georgia's point of view, it's a tough game. Like, it's important in momentum tournaments. We talk about this thing. They do fancy themselves in the tight against these top teams. They do think highly of themselves. They're going to be a little wounded from that Scottish
Scotland doubleheader,
and they're going into this game with a few weeks break off that. They have had time to think and adjust. It is sort of, there's a bit of on the fly going to this, but there are simple things that they did work in even in the second game in Murrayfield. like the kicking game of Absendadza and Matiashvili.
Yeah.
Getting them on the front foot, kicking the ball. That's what they did in the second test for that period of about 60 minutes where it was tight. They were actually on the front foot and then they were kicking the ball into corners.
Recognising
they actually have to be a little more focused on territory than possession because of the degree to which Tier 2 sides are looking to dominate the territorial game. So they have to kick smarter. They have to get on the front foot, but before anything else happens, make sure the ball is in the opposition half, preferably deep in the opposition half. And then from there, make them exit, get possession, and that
will take a more accurate passing game than they've been displaying in terms of just getting 2 or 3 passes away from a ruck and then kicking. Because Lobzanidze box kicks, like I rate Lobzanidze, but Liam Williams or they're not box kicking. No, it's not box kicking.
It's kicking for grass in behind the upcoming Welsh wingers for touch.
Of course, that is the way to play him. And you'll just hope to see that those tactics are on point, that in the first 20 Georgia are trying at least to do that. And then they do have a chance, like once they get into the 22, if they can get their hands on the ball, they will slow it down, they'll take to that pick and jam game and they'll try.
They can do that against almost anybody.
They can.
Like Wales are a tough prospect for most sides, and actually the line out maul and then getting a penalty off that will be a great avenue for them. But they are great when they set up base camp in someone's 22 and holding the ball. They can do that for 10-12 minutes. They can milk a yellow card and then score a try. They look to do that against anybody. They look to do it against the All Blacks, for God's sake. They just go there and do it.
That's their place.
That's what they can do. But in terms of getting there, they have to be a lot sharper. And they have some big questions they have to answer if they're going to actually compete in this game. Can their defence actually get out of the line, get some sharper reads in their defence, and then obviously they're great when the contact happens, maybe hold the ball up and suffocate that Welsh attack. Can they do that? Can Absendadza and Matiashvili get them into the right areas of the field with their kicking game? And can they slow up Welsh ball in terms of at the breakdown?
Hopefully, that's would be the main improvement.
That's what Gurgodza is huge at. Gurgodza has played 7 at an elite level. He's got to go straight into the team and be a jackler. That's massive.
Because on the other side of the ball, they may be getting the picture painted as to how just to do that, because we've rated Wales are probably one of the best in the world at that exact skill, just getting your hands in the ball from 1 to 15. They all do it. Like whenever there's a tackle made, there's someone in there, and they do a combination of fanning out and pushing up with decent line speed, but not quite the tigerous Welsh blitz we've seen in the past. They're more reserved than that now. They're happy to soak and slow down. Like they're going to try and create those 5-second rucks, and then if Georgia are playing that pick and jam game in their own territory, setting up kicks sloppily and slowly, Wales are only too capable of dealing with that. They need to be a bit more adventurous to try and get around them.
It also just needs to be big plays and big moments. Like if Wales are on the attack, can Gurgodza get in on the ball, get a penalty, and then all of a sudden you're down the field. That's what they want. They need to be down the field.
Can Gurgodza smash Alan Wynne-Jones? Big momentum hits like that will be huge.
Knock-ons generate scrums. Making plays on the wrong side of the ball is going to be massive for Georgia, and then looking sharp when they have it.
Which is easier said than done against a Wales outfit that are looking to come out and top this very, very dangerous pool. And they have the tools to do it. Like they even though their warm-up games haven't gone according to plan, not a lot can be made of them. They're like the warm-up games are not the World Cup. They've done all their pre-season, they've done their conditioning, they've got some of their shapes, they know who their squad are. Now it's time to implement some plans, and hopefully from Wales's point of view it won't become about that. They'll be able to kick the Georgians back, make them exit loosely to them, get their counter-attack strike runners into the game, get Jonathan Davis if he's there, but get their centres on the ball and trying to get like that bit of pace out wide and score some great tries, because this Wales team are capable. They have loads of tries in them and loads of different ways of scoring tries. They can, like, if all going well, you might see a Wales maul try in the 78th minute because they've just broken the Georgians then.
And to be honest with you, in terms of predictions, I think in all likelihood Georgia, based on what we've seen this season, won't be able to cope when Wales have the ball, and actually won't look sharp enough when they have the ball. And that's been the picture against Scotland in both cases. They just haven't been at that tier 1 level. And if that's the crack, Wales will be clinical and will put them together with a bonus point.
But that being said, let's watch scrum time. Scrum time is never more interesting than when the Georgians are involved.
It's true. Listen, I really do rate the Georgians as having a chance to be a very interesting new look team in tier 1. They've suffered for a lot of reasons, obviously, in terms of just not being able to compete at that high level, and they don't look at the level this year. But I would love to be proven wrong, and I would love to see them get up to that level and play at the tier 1 level that they feel they can. Get some plays off, use their physicality, and maybe make it a really sweaty day for Wales.
Potentially, but
probably not.
Probably not. I'm erring on that side. There's more chances. I see more pictures of this being a good, strong Welsh performance to get that bit of momentum going. As we said, momentum is going to be key, and there are teams that are going to lose it outright on the first weekend, and there are teams that are going to pick some up and keep rolling into round 2, and that's what Wales will be looking to do.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for tuning into the Overlap Rugby Podcast World Cup content. If you enjoyed that video, please feel free to subscribe and comment down below, as well as share with your friends. Thanks.